The second technique which falls under collision resolution technique is open hashing or closed addressing. Before I discuss about what is this open hashing method or closed addressing method, let me discuss why do we need this open hashing method. When it is difficult to handle the situation of table overflow, this table overflow occurs when the key value is mapped and it is greater than the size of the table overflow would occur, which would degrade the performance of the complete model. So when there is a difficulty in handling the situation of table overflow, we can go with the open hashing method, and majority of the keys are far from their hash locations, which increases the number of probes. So to reduce the number of probes also, we can go with this, we can prefer this open hashing method, because here we are not going to increase the number of probes and we are not going to find out the alternate slots here with the separate chaining method. Instead of searching for the alternate slot, we are going to maintain in each slot one linked list structure would be maintained, and all the colliding records will be maintained in that linked list structure. While discussing the example, you will understand it in a better way, and let me tell you what is separate chaining method now. This separate chaining method is a collision resolution technique in hash tables where each bucket or each slot in the hash table contains a linked list. So here there is a slot, right? Each and every slot we call it as a bucket, or we can call it as a slot. So here each slot will be containing a linked list structure. So the linked list would be created and the head node's pointer would be stored in each slot here. Suppose if you face a collision, already we are placing some value 5 at index position 0, then again I want to place some other index value, some other key value which is 20. For 20 also, if it is generating the hash value 0, means I can store, already there is 5 at index position 0, and for 20 key element also it is generating the hash position 0, which means collision, right? So usually with closed hashing method, we would have preferred finding the alternate solutions, alternate slots, right, with linear probing, quadratic probing and double hashing. We just tried finding out the alternate empty slot to place the key elements, but here when it comes to the separate chaining method, you no need to find out the alternate empty slot, because you are going to maintain a linked list structure here to hold the data elements. So whenever you face a collision, all the colliding records can be composed as a single linked list structure, and the linked list structure's pointer would be stored in so and so slot. There are already 5, the data element 5 is already there in the slot, right? Again for the key element 20, we are getting the hash value 0. If so, you no need to increase your prop sequence or anything, you no need to find out the empty slot. Simple, you can attach it with this list only. All the colliding records will be framed as a single chain of record. So since for 20 also we are getting 0, create one more node, store the data value key value 20 in it, and store the address of this new node to 0th, like to the previous node which has been stored under the slot 0, stored at index 0. This is what we are going to do here in the separate chaining method. So you no need to find out the alternate slot, just no need to increase the prop sequence also, just maintain a linked list and store the address, to create a new node, store the data element and store the address of the new node to the last node of the chain, the linked list chain which we maintained at so and so index position. So this method uses a hash table as an array of pointer, and each pointer points a linked list here, and in this method colliding records are chained together, all the colliding key elements are chained together by maintaining a linked list of such colliding records, linked list of such colliding records, and a separate one-way list is used. One-way list is maintained for each set of colliding records, and the records in these lists are stored at the front of the appropriate linked list whenever a new collision occurs. Let's discuss one example. Okay, so here these are the key elements given. The key elements given here are 57, 42, 79, 51, 113, 82, 15, 29, 112. These are the key elements I just want to store in a hash table of size 10. So as I discussed before, we are not going to store the data key element directly into the hash table. Instead, we are going to maintain an array of pointer, and each pointer would be pointing a linked list. Array of pointer would be maintained, and suppose so and so pointer AA is there, which means this AA is going to be the head of the linked list which we are going to maintain here at index position 0. Let me solve the example, you will understand it in a clear way. The first key element is 57. You can go with any, you can prefer any hash function technique. As usual, I am going to prefer the modulo division method. If you apply the modulo division method, there is no separate formula. You can follow any hash function technique to generate the hash value. Once the hash value is generated, the key value can be placed at so and so hash value address. And you know the formula of modulo division, k mod some value, it can be any prime number or it can be a table size or anything. So here the p value is going to be my table size, which is 10, which means whichever the key value, suppose I want to find out the hash value I want to generate the hash value for the key element 57, key value is 57 mod p value is 10, 57 mod 10, it is going to be 7, which means at the place of 7 I am going to store the value 57. This is the slot 7, right, at the index position 7. So it would not hold the value, instead it would be holding the pointer, and that pointer would be pointing a linked list. You can create a new node instead of storing the data directly into the slot. Create a new node. You always know that in linked list each node would be having two fields, one to store the data and another one to store the address. In the place of data field, you can store the actual data, the key element which you want to store, and there is no next node for this node. Since this is going to be the very first node, you can store null in its next field, and this is the very first node, right? Since this is the very first node, this node's address would be stored here. Suppose the address is AA, address AA would be stored at index position 7. So every slot in an array in the hash table would be holding the pointer of a linked list. The first node's address would be stored in the slot at the array index, and the next key element which I want to store is 42. Hash value for 42 is 2. If you take 42 mod 10, you will be getting 2, right? 42 mod 10, it is going to be 2, which means at the place of 2 I can maintain a linked list chain in which I can store the key value 2. If you check the slot 2, the 2 is completely empty. If so, you create one new node in which you can store the key element 2 in its data field, and you can fill the null value in its next field, and address of this first node must be stored in the slot in the hash value 2, right? And the next key value I want to store is 79. Hash value for 79 is 79 mod 10, which is 9, which means in the place of 9 you have to insert in the key element, new key element 9 in a linked list chain. But if you check the slot 9, it is completely empty. If so, the node, the key element 9 is going to act as the very first key element. Create a node, and that node's address you are going to store in slot 9, and in the data field store the actual data element, and in its next field you can store null. And next key element is 51. Hash value for 51 is 51 mod 10, it is 1, which means at 1 we are supposed to insert. 1 is completely empty. So create a new node, I have maintained the address here inside the slot. Okay. Create a new node at 1. In its data field, you place the actual value which you want to place, that is 51, and address of this node, for example, address of this node is DD. DD would be stored in this slot. Since this is the very first node's address would be stored in the array slot, and next field would be null. Next data element I want to store is 113. 113 mod 10 is 3. At the place of 3, it is completely empty. create a new node in which store the actual data element 113, and the address of this node must be stored. Since it is completely empty, this node is going to act as a very first node. Always very first node must be stored under some other variable head, or it can be the pointer or anything, right. That pointer we are just storing it inside the slot. For example, if the address of this first node is EE, this would be stored here. And the next data element is 82. If you apply modulo division method, 82 mod 10, hash value 2 would be generated. If you check the 2, the address position 2 is not empty, which means already the linked list chain is maintained. So you can check the last element, you can traverse to the last element. At the end, you can insert the new data element which you want to insert. Create a new node and insert the new data element, which is 82, and connect this chain with the last node of the linked list which has been maintained at the index position 2. And this is the last node, you just connect it with the last node. You know how to perform insertion at the end in a linked list. You can follow the same pseudocode here. You perform the insertion, and for example, the new node which I created is Z means that ZZ address must come here in the last node's next field, and since this is the last node, in the new node's next field you can fill the null pointer. And next I want to store 15, apply modulo division method and generate the hash value, and the hash value which has been generated is 5, which means at the place of 5 15 needs to be stored. Since 5 is completely empty, create one new node and start making a chain of linked list. Insert the data value 15 and address of this, for example FF is the address of this new node. FF would go there into the index position, and the next field would be having null. And the next key element which I want to insert is 29, and if you apply modulo division method, you would get 9. If you look at the position 9, already the linked list chain is maintained at 9 because some pointer value has been stored, right. So you can traverse from this pointer, and you can through this pointer you can traverse through the entire chain of linked list and reach to the last node. Once the last node is reached, you can create one new node, and new node's address must be stored in the next field of the last node. For example, the address of this is YY. YY would be stored here, and in its data field the actual data element 29 would be stored, and the last field would be having null. Since I have written YY here, these two would be connected. And the next key element is 112. Apply the hash function. If you apply hash function, hash value of 2 would be generated. If you look at 2, already the chain is maintained. You start from this pointer and traverse till the last node. Yes, we traverse till the last node. Now the pointer is here, and create a new node. Now in the new node's data field, you can write the actual data element. In the new node's next field, you can fill the null, and in the place of pointers next, you can write a new node's address. Suppose new node's address is XX. Point in the place of pointers next, you can write new node's address, which is XX. Since XX has been returned, these two would be connected. So this is how we are supposed to perform insertion. We are supposed to perform insertion or deletion or searching. Anything can be done only in this way, by maintaining a linked list structure in each slot. So here if you check, all the colliding records, all the colliding data elements are combined, and it has been maintained as a single chain of linked list here. So one way list is used here to store each set of colliding records. Here one way list has been maintained, and all these are the colliding records, and it has been placed in a single chain of linked list. So the hash address of the key is decided by its last digit. Why? Because we use the modulo of 10, right? Because the table size is 10, so we used the value mod value as 10 over here. Now let us discuss the advantages, disadvantages and applications. When it comes to the advantage, it is the overflow situation never occurs because we maintain a linked list here. So whenever we never face the overflow condition, because we use a linked list structure, and linked list is a dynamic memory allocation. So as far as the memory location is free, we can insert as many key elements we wish into the list in each slot, because there are no constraint, there are no memory constraint here, right? There are no fixed size here, since it's dynamic memory allocation. So overflow condition would never occur with a separate chaining method, and it is free from clustering. Clustering also would never occur, and insertion deletion becomes very easy, and it is going to be the very quick task, and few more advantages are also there. Uniform and a good average case performance. When the hash function distribute keys uniformly, the average length of the linked list will be manageable, providing good average case performance for insertion, searching and deletion operations. And the next advantage is handles high load factors. Separate chaining performs well even with high load factors, since each bucket can store multiple elements. If you check each bucket or each slot, it handles, if you check bucket number 2, it handles multiple elements, right. So here each bucket handles the multiple elements. This contrast, with open addressing methods, where performance open addressing methods like linear probing, quadratic probing and double hashing, the performance would degrade significantly as the load factor approaches. Only the remaining size is 1 when there is only one slot remaining, but there are many more key elements yet to be inserted. The performance would get degraded with open addressing method, whereas here in closed addressing method, like it can handle high load factor. Why? Because each slot can handle multiple elements. And next advantage is simplified deletion. Deleting an element in separate chaining is straightforward, since it involves standard linked list deletion without affecting the overall structure of the hash table. And next are disadvantages. One is, since we are maintaining a linked list data structure here, extra space is required to store the addresses of each fields. That is one disadvantage. And next is degraded performance, especially when it is when the chain is long. If the hash function is not good, and also because the separate chaining requires additional memory, right, for the pointers in the linked list, which can be significant if the number of collisions is high. So the performance may get degraded, since we are maintaining a long linked list. And also if the hash function is not good and the keys are not uniformly distributed, also some bucket may have long list, so it may lead to degraded performance of those keys. And next is the next disadvantage is increased complexity. The use of linked list adds some complexity, especially in environments where memory allocation or deallocation is expensive or complicated, especially in embedded systems. The complexity is going to be high. And next are applications, and all these applications are same which we discussed under the open addressing methods under linear probing, quadratic probing and double hashing. One is hash tables in programming languages. Second one is it is used by the compilers to manage the identifiers, and separate chaining provides simple yet effective way to handle the collisions in these tables, because the separate chaining is very much effective in handle the collisions as well as clustering, right. And even for database indexing, this can be used to ensure efficient data retrieval. And for caching systems, the separate chaining can be used where the cache size can dynamically grow, accommodating more entries without significant performance loss. And in cryptographic applications also, this hash table with separate chaining can be used, where the flexibility to handle many keys efficiently is very much crucial. In summary, separate chaining uses a linked list to manage the collisions, and it is simple to implement, and it handles high load factors well, and also performs uniformly with a good hash function. However, it requires extra memory for the linked list pointers, and also it can suffer from poor cache performance, and it may lead to long chains if keys are not well suited, or if the proper hash function is not chosen. Still, this separate chaining method is widely used in many applications like programming languages, compilers, databases, distributed systems, caching systems and cryptographic applications due to its flexibility and robustness. Thank you.